I was 4 years old when my parents first separated, and together with my mom, we lived with my grandparents. Growing up, I was given love and attention by my mom and grandparents, but deep inside, I still longed for a father. I envied my classmates who had both parents present during our school activities. I was so angry with my father, but at the same time, I could not deny how I hoped we could become one happy family. After 6 years of separation, my parents found their way back to each other, and the best part, my mom gave birth to my brother. A few years later, she gave birth to my sister. We were finally one happy family, or so I thought. I was already in college when I first found out about my father's mistresses. It broke me most when I learned that one of them was almost my age. I was filled with anger, hatred, and disgust. I saw how my mother suffered too, and instead of being comforted and encouraged, we felt we were judged and talked about by the people we dearly love. It was at this point when I turned away from God. I hated my dad, the church, and God. I could not understand my situation and dwelt on how unfair God was to me and to my family. I never thought it would be so difficult to forgive. I had nothing but disrespect and harsh words for my father as I allowed my bitterness, anger, and pride to get the best of me. In my anger, I would physically hurt and verbally abuse my ex-boyfriend. Every time I had to drive, I would curse other drivers in my head and sometimes even out loud. I would scream in the car and either throw things or pound on whatever I could get my hands on whenever I would get frustrated. I was a mess, but God is faithful. Through the invitation of a college friend, I found my way back to God and started attending CCF. My friend eventually invited me to join their small group, and she has been my accountability partner since then. There was this one Sunday, I was sitting in praying before the worship service when I felt the Lord reminded me of all the good and happy memories I had with my father. There was this pinch in my heart that led me to admit how badly I had missed him. That day, I surrendered everything to God. I admitted I was tired and could not do anything on my own and asked the Lord to help me to forgive. After all the tears were shed, I felt God's peace and I knew that I was finally free. I prayed to the Lord for Him to give me His perfect time to seeing my dad again and to restore our relationship. A year after that, my mom and my siblings came from the US and she needed my dad's signature for a document. My brother volunteered to meet with my dad, and mom asked if my sister and I would want to go with him. We decided to go and surprise our father. When we finally saw him, there was nothing but sincere and pure love in my heart for him. And I knew that it was not me. It was the love of Jesus that He allowed to flow through me. My siblings and I were delighted to know that he has been sober and has started attending church again. We also started to go out with my father more frequently and spend time with each other. Today, with the help of the Holy Spirit, not only am I free from ill feelings towards my father or anybody or God Himself, I also no longer have episodes of road rage, nor do I easily get angry. I struggle with anger, but my confidence to deal with this daily is not in my ability to control myself in trying circumstances, but in that He who began a good work in me is faithful to complete it until the day my Lord and Savior, Jesus, comes. By God's grace, He is now using me to disciple and mentor younger ladies. My name is Gian, Carla, Lumabao, once a turbulent and raging sea, but now at peace, all by God's grace and mercy. To God be all the glory.